Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about a new feature that is introduced in our Android, that is the in-app review API. Okay, now let me go to the documentation first. I'll show you the documentation. Here you can see in-app review API. You can trigger this API at any time throughout the application, and there are some restrictions, or we can say there are some device requirements. So the Android device must be running on API 20 level and greater or greater. Okay, and you can include this in Chrome OS also. Okay, now the Play Core library requirement, it must be a version which is higher than or equal to 1.8.0. okay, now so this is basically what this API do is the API allow us to review from our app itself. Here you can see there will be a user interface. There the user can select the star rating 1 2 3 4 5, okay, or he can cancel it by clicking the not now option. Once selected, he can type in some comments about the review, then submit. Okay, so this is the flow. So this is the in-app review flow, and you can trigger this flow at any time within your app. So there are some quotas, which means once the review is shown and the quota is met, then it will not be triggered the next time. So okay, let me go to the documentation. Now this is the documentation. It says we can call the review manager. So we can call the review manager. It will be obtained by creating an instance of review manager factory. Okay, and so we will get a review info object, and this using this review info object we can launch the review flow using this task. Okay, and then we can say we can use fake review manager to fake the scenarios, or we can say fake the outputs of the review flow, and there are some troubleshooting and all. Now what we are going to do is we have, this is a basic application, that is we have a main activity. Then what we are going to do is we are creating another activity. Empty activity is it is empty activity. Okay, and I'm going to name this as a second activity. So what we are going to do is we launch the application, and then when we end up in our main activity, then we press a button, it goes to the second activity. When we back press, it will come back to the main activity. So in between the when we press the back button, it will ask for the review flow. Okay, so once the review flow is completed, it will automatically come back to the main activity. So let's do this. So in our main activity we are going to place a button. Okay, we are going to place a button here. Okay, so place it here and constrain this. Okay, now move this down some okay, change the button text, go to second activity. Okay, so this is main activity. Okay, text. This is main activity. Okay, so this is main activity, and go to second activity. So in our second activity, we are going to place one text, simple text view, in the center of the activity. So like this, and change the text to this is second activity, like this. Okay, that's it. Now what we are going to do is we are here we are implementing, let's give this button an ID, main button. Okay, something like main button. Okay, now create a reference to this button, private button, main button. Okay, main button. Now in our onCreate, we create an init function. Now create the method. In the init method, what we are going to do is we are referencing main button equal to find view by id r.id dot what is main button. Okay, now set an on click listener to this main button dot set on click listener. Here what we are going to new on click listener. Okay, this is just a simple activity with one button, so here we can do like this, on click listener. Now when we press the button, we want to go to the second activity. Okay, so start new activity, start activity. Okay, new intent. This is our main activity. Now second activity, second activity dot class. So we are going to this activity. Okay, so instead of this we can write main activity dot this. Okay, something like this. So now it will be okay. Now what we are going to do is in our second activity, we have our back button. So override the method on back pressed. Okay, now we are checking some condition. If some condition. Okay, some condition. Now that condition is met, we are calling the review flow. Else we are going with the back pressed. Okay, so it will be like this. What we need to do, we need to call this method. Okay, so let's copy this, Control C, Control V. Okay, something like that. Okay, view manager, we need to first we need to implement the core library. Okay, core library. So summon this developer dot play core. Okay, now copy this dependency, Android Studio. There in our app build.gradle, include the dependency here. Okay, include it. Now sync now. Okay, now the sync is finished. Now if we remove this comment, here you can see it is a part of the Android Play core library. Okay, now Alt Enter will import the class. Here out again, Alt Enter, import the class. Okay, okay. Now here we don't need to we don't need to instantiate this. So call like this: private review manager. Okay. Now in our init method, let's initialize it. Okay. Now manager equal to control V. Now this is the context. Okay, so here instead of context we can pass this. That's it. Now go to the our documentation. Okay, now we can ask for the what we call this, the review info. Okay, now copy this part, copy, now paste it here, Alt Enter to import the class. Lambda okay, lambda is not supported. Okay, replace anonymous class like this on complete. Now what we need to do is if the task is what we are doing is we are instantiating the manager like this using the review manager factory, then task review object, we are creating this request object. Okay, now add on complete listener to this object. Okay, now on complete we are completing we are checking for the task if the task is successful or not. Review info dot get result. Okay, here we will get the result of the review info. Continue, else we can continue. Okay, either we can show a toast, something like that. Actually we don't necessarily need to show any toast here if there was a problem fetching the review info. Okay, for tutorial purpose, just I'm just showing a toast. There was some error while accessing review info. Okay, like this. Actually we don't need to show this toast if there was some problem, but for only for the tutorial purpose I'm doing like this. Okay, so here we got the review info object. We need to make this global. Okay, so for that I'm copying this object. I need this object globally variable. So something like this, private review info. Okay, so now I can access this review info object from anywhere inside this class. What I'm going to do is here I'm checking review info equal to null, not equal to null. Okay, not equal to null. If this is null, if the review info returned is null, then we don't need to actually call the review in-app review flow. Okay, we are actually proceeding with the back button pressed. If the review info is not null, then we can call the review flow. Here using this line of code we can call the flow. Okay, now copy this, go to our then paste it. Okay. Lambda is not supported, so replace with anonymous class like this. Now this is the activity, which means our activity is second activity dot class. Okay, So second activity dot class. Oh, we can simply write this here on complete. The flow has finished. Okay. Now when we call this, it will show an user interface like this. It will show an user interface like this. Okay, prompting the user to select the number of stars, and if he clicks not now, this UI will be closed. Okay, and we can continue with our flow of the application. And if he has chosen some stars, then then a text view, I mean edit text, will be shown here to type in some review and then submit. After submitting, it will show something like this. Thanks for submitting review notification or something like that, and we can close this. Okay, and then continue with the real app flow. So this is how it works. So when we complete this, if for tutorial purpose, I'm checking if the task is successful. Task dot is successful. I'm just printing a toast. Okay, toast, review successful, review successful. Okay, review successful. Else if the task is not success, else I'm going to show a toast message, review error while reviewing. Okay, something like that. Error while reviewing, something like that. Okay, so that's it. Actually, that's it. And if there is an error, we can go back with irrespective of the result, we can go back super.on pressed, something like that. Not here. Here. Okay. So on complete, it will check if the task is successful. Then it will show a toast message. This is just for the tutorial purpose. Else it will show error while reviewing, and then it will come out of this and go back. Automatically go back. So it will automatically go back irrespective of the outcome of the review flow. If our review info object is null, then it will automatically go back. So it will work like this. Now let's run this application in our emulator. Now this is gonna take a while, so I'm going to fast forward this. Now here our app has been launched. Now go to second activity. Now this is the second activity. Now if you go back, review successful. So pressing of the back button called the review info object, but it is showing review successful. The reason for that is actually our app is not published in the Google Play Store. So in order to show the user interface, our app needed to be published in the Google Play Store. Then only the in-app review user interface will be shown to the users. Okay. Now if a user has been reviewed our application, then next time when he press the back button, it will not show the user interface. Or if the user has been pressed the not now button number of times, or he has met the quota for some particular period, then also the user interface will not be shown to the user. Okay, so this is how it works. You can implement this in-app review flow anywhere in your application. What you need to do is you need to first create the object of the review manager, then create an object, instantiate it using review manager factory, then create the review info object. Okay, so this using this object we will get the review info. Okay, now using this review info we can start the in-app review flow. Okay, now this particular line of code will launch the user interface for entering or submitting the review of our application, and irrespective of the result outcome of the reviewing process we can continue with our normal application flow. Okay, so these toast messages are for just the purpose of tutorial. We actually don't need to show this toast message if the review is successful or not. Okay, so even if the review is successful or not, we can continue with the back press method. Okay, here what I'm doing is, while pressing the back button, I'm showing the review user interface. If the user opt for the not now button, then we can go back, or if the user completes the review, then he can go back. Okay, like that. So I think this video will be helpful for you. So this video is basically for the beginners who want to experience or who want to implement the in-app review process in their applications. Okay, if this video is helpful, do consider liking the video, subscribing the channel, and comment your doubts. Thank you.